Now, let yourselves relax with that idea as we continue on with another aspect of the vibration and the physics of intention. Because as we said, a lot of this has to do with the absolute commitment to be your true self. What does that mean? I will tell you by analogy. Thank you. Imagine now that you are walking along. And there are, in a sense, however you wish to picture this, several islands connected by bridges. And you can see that another island is representative of this picture of your ideal scenario. And you see that you can now cross the bridge standing in now for this connection, this laser-like connection between the different solar plexi. The bridge is now something you can actually cross. Imagine it however you will. But allow yourself now to begin to cross that bridge. And as you walk across that bridge and arrive on the next landing pad or island or however you picture it, that is more representative of where you prefer to be, allow yourself suddenly in the middle of that island to allow any particular kind of challenge to come up. Now, this will be the opportunity for you, in a sense, to use the word loosely, to test yourself, to see if you really believe this is the true you. Because often what you will do is you will present yourself with something that appears to be not connected to the ideal scenario to see how you will respond to it or whether you will react negatively to it, which means you haven't really changed. Which means you haven't really created that scenario. So very often in your reality, you will test yourself by presenting yourself with something that you used to define in an opposite way from your ideal scenario to see if you're still going to give it that definition, or if you're now willing to put a more positive meaning to the very same scenario, which is actually the proof that you have changed. Not that something on the outside has changed. That's not the proof. The proof is if you now respond differently to something, even if it looks the same. That's what proves you have changed. So you will usually challenge yourself to see if you're now going to react the same old way and run back across the bridge to the old island, or whether you are going to know that this is where you belong, that this is a representation of your intention, and that you will stand and you will face this challenge and you will put a positive meaning into it because you know it must be part of your journey, because you know it must belong, because you know it wouldn't be there for no reason, because you know this comes from your higher mind telling you that this is what you need to face, and this is what you need to integrate, and this is what you need to understand in order to add this energy to your energy, in order to amplify and magnify it and allow yourself to become the beacon that is vibrating on the level that is more closely approximate to what you intend, to your ideal scenario, to your true preferred being. And if you know that, then what you will do is you will burn the bridge behind you so that you cannot retreat. You see, the principle here in this particular imagination scenario is simply this. When you really know what's true for you, when you really know what is really representative of what excites you the most, there are no other choices but that. People on your planet often ask us, well, how do I maintain this? How do I perpetuate this? If something is really representative of what you really prefer, there simply is no other choice. You simply choose nothing else. And by simply choosing nothing else, automatically you perpetuate. Automatically you maintain the thing that is representative of your choice, because you simply don't choose any other way. You burn the bridge. You give yourself no other choice but to stay in that vibration and face the challenges that are inherent in that level, knowing that they are there to allow you to cross the next bridge. For without integrating that challenge, no other bridge will appear. This is the course of intention. Now, again, the idea is that all you really need to do at any given moment when you're acting to the best of your ability on your highest excitement is to ask yourself, if there's ever a question, ask yourself the simple question: would I rather be doing something else? If the answer is no, if this is the most exciting thing that you can think of doing, and you have the ability to take any action on it at all at that moment, and if there is nothing else you would rather be doing, if nothing else presents itself as more exciting, then that is the idea, that is the representation that you are creating and allowing there to be, at that moment, no other choice but that one. In other words, no other choice is really as representative of your commitment to be your true self than that one is at this moment. In the next moment, there may be another choice. After you have used up the choice you have made, after you have acted on it, after you have absorbed it, after you have allowed it to download into you in a manner that changes you so that you are ready, so that you are the new person ready for the next choice, and the next choice, and the next choice. But at every given moment, whatever it is you choose at that moment, then in that moment, there is no other choice. You have burned every other bridge. And if you continue to do that, to that degree of focus, to that degree of intention, and are willing to face those challenges in that manner, with that attitude, that energy, that body language, as the version of you in your image would do, and the more you become him or her, then the more you will see that your reality will flex and bend and mold itself to that intention. You will be creating, you'll be putting out with that laser-like light a specific frequency that eventually your reality will collapse onto, until such time as the whole vibration of your entire reality is exactly that frequency, and nothing can happen that doesn't happen within that frequency from that point forward. There will be no soft focus, in a sense. There will be no opportunity for any other choice to be made, for any other frequency to come in, because you are not choosing anything else but what you know falls into the frequency of that laser-like light of intention coming from your solar plexus. That's your beacon. That's your searchlight. That's your lighthouse. That's your path. That's you. That frequency, and only that frequency, at any given moment, determine what that is. Act on your excitement fully, and know that by acting on it fully, the challenges that come up are not for the purpose of distracting you. They're not for the purpose of diverting you. They're for the purpose of allowing you to home in more clearly on what that frequency is, because many times, the way your reality is laid out, you understand more clearly who you are by being given an example more clearly of who you are not. And by understanding how to use polarity in that way, you will more clearly define who you are. And by defining who you are, your intention becomes precise, your vibration becomes precise, and your reality becomes precisely attuned to that frequency of your intention, and collapses onto it, and no other frequency thus then can make itself in any way, shape, or form manifest. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Does it sound like fun?
Yes.
All right. Are you willing to be that you?
Yes.
All right. Then in every thought, word, and deed, be that you. In every circumstance and situation, be that you. With all of your intentions, intend that you behave like that you, so that you are that version of you. Because there are an infinite number of parallel earth realities. Infinite. Therefore, an infinite number of versions of you, each with its own specific frequency, each in a sense with its own specific program, its own specific series of experiences that are relevant to its frequency. Be the you prefer to be. Stay on that intentional frequency, on that intentional wavelength. Choose nothing else. Make a commitment to yourself to be yourself, whatever that means to you at any given moment. Allow yourself to change, because change is a constant. but change only in that direction of your preference in order to remain committed to being your true self. Do so without the expectation that any particular thing must happen in an insisting way, and be open to the idea of your higher mind bringing you gifts and surprises and the unexpected so that you can have an ecstatic explosion of unexpected synchronicity as the mainstay of your life. Sound like fun? Yes. All right. Let it be so, because it is so. And this is how we live all the time. So can you. It's up to you. Choose. That's all you have to do. Choose to be who you know you are. Plain and simple. Make sense?